What if I told you that one African leader was removed, not because he was evil, but because he challenged the entire world system? This is the unbelievable rise and fall of Muammar Gaddafi, a man the West called a dictator, but many Africans called a hero. To understand his story, you must forget everything you think you know about Libya, and listen to the truth they never taught you. Muammar Gaddafi was born in 1942, in a small desert tent in Sirte, Libya. He grew up poor, watching his people suffer under a king supported by foreign powers. As a young boy, he studied the stories of African revolutionaries and dreamed of freeing his country. By the age of 27, he led a bloodless coup that removed the monarchy, without executing the king, without destroying the nation, and without begging foreign support. To Libyans, it felt like the beginning of a new future. After taking power, Gaddafi did something unusual. He nationalized the oil, meaning Libya's wealth now belonged to Libyans, not foreign companies. Money from oil didn't disappear into politicians' pockets. Instead, it built free healthcare, free education, new roads and infrastructure, one of the highest living standards in Africa. He created the Great Man-Made River, the largest irrigation project in the world, turning dry desert into farmland. Homes were given to families. Electricity became almost free. University students received allowances. Married couples received financial support from the state. By the 2000s, Libya was called the Switzerland of Africa. But the world powers were not pleased, because Libya was becoming independent. Gaddafi had a dream bigger than Libya. He wanted one African currency backed by gold, one African military force, one African passport, a United States of Africa. And he had the money to make it real. This plan threatened Western nations who depended on Africa's cheap resources and weak currencies. According to leaked documents and testimonies, the gold-backed African dinar was the final straw, the moment powerful countries realized Gaddafi was no longer just a Libyan leader. He was becoming an African liberator. And liberators are dangerous to global interests. In 2011, protests broke out in Libya. But what started as political demonstrations quickly turned into a civil war. Foreign powers stepped in, not with peacekeepers, but with bombs. Cities were destroyed. Gaddafi's forces were overwhelmed. For 8 months, NATO forces launched thousands of airstrikes. What they called protecting civilians created chaos Libya has still not recovered from. Gaddafi was captured and killed under brutal conditions, a moment broadcast to the world as a symbol of victory. But when he died, Libya didn't become free. It became fractured, unstable, and divided. Many Libyans later said, "We didn't understand what we had, until we lost it." After Gaddafi's death, Libya became a battleground of militia groups and foreign influence. Instead of one stable government, the nation split into rival forces. Oil fields were fought over. Crime increased. Human trafficking grew. The nation that once had free education and free healthcare now struggled to maintain basic order. For many Africans, Libya became a painful example of what happens when a leader who challenges the world is removed. Gaddafi was not perfect. He made mistakes, fought enemies harshly, and ruled with a strong hand. But ignoring his achievements is ignoring history. He raised Libya from poverty to prosperity. He built Africa's most ambitious development projects. He pushed for African unity more than any leader of his time. And he refused to let foreign nations control his people's future. This is why his story is still debated, still feared, still powerful. Gaddafi's story is not simple. For some he was a dictator. For others he was a hero. But one thing is certain, his dream for Africa did not die with him. New voices are rising, new ideas are awakening, and history is being rewritten. Because the truth cannot stay buried forever. Don't let this history fade. Like, share, and subscribe, more hidden stories are coming.